Use the figure to answer the questions. Alright, here's our figure. Three parallel lines, line AB, line CD, line EF, are constructed at transversal. Line BD is constructed passing through line AB at point B, passing through line CD at point D, and passing through line EF at point F, such that segment BD is congruent to segment DF. A second transversal of the three parallel lines is constructed as well. Transversal line AC passes through line AB at point A, passes through line CD at point C, and passes through line EF at point E. Based on the information presented in the image, choose the number and justification that belong in the blanks in the following sentences. The length of AC, of segment AC, is blank because of blank. Select two answers, one for the segment's length and one to justify your reasoning. Okay, so it's either 8, the triangle mid-segment theorem, corollary 1403, transversal intersects three or more parallel lines in a way that cuts the transversal into congruent segments, then every transversal of the parallel lines is cut into congruent segments, or 2, or theorem 1401, the medians of a triangle are concurrent. Okay, well, it's not talking about mid-segment anywhere in this. It's not talking about medians of a triangle anywhere in this. It does mention a lot of transversals, and it does give that this transversal right here, transversal BD, this line right here, cuts it so that BD is congruent to DF. So BD is congruent to DF. That gives us this first part. If a transversal intersects three or more parallel lines in a way that cuts the transversal into congruent segments, so that's our first one. Here's our first transversal that's cut into congruent segments by the parallel lines. So again, like here's our parallel line, here's the other parallel line. So this is the segment I'm talking about between the two parallel lines. Here's the third parallel line, and again, this is the other segment that's talking about between the two parallel lines. So they are given that they're congruent, so that's the first half, and then it says, then every transversal of parallel lines is cut into congruent segments. So we are given a second transversal. We're given transversal AC right here. So it does state that every other transversal of the parallel lines is cut into congruent segments. So that means that this segment, segment AC, is going to be congruent to segment CE. So, since we know that CE is 4, we also know that AC is going to be 4. So that's how I would go through and just use the clues, actually the answers, to go through and see if we can eliminate based on context clues in the question.